watch Tim Bowen's pre-market prep every morning on Stocks to Trade, and his favorite quote is, "There's a time to go long, there's a time to go short, and there's a time to go fishing." That kind of ties in with sometimes the best trade is no trade at all.
I'm not gonna get distracted with the noise, which is what I call all the other setups that I'm not focusing on noise. So I'm just gonna drown out the noise and focus on my own setup.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Gen Traders YouTube channel. We are about halfway through the month of July. Time flies. It feels like we were just making our video where we were saying we did a month of recording our episodes, but it's been a month and a half now, and we are recording episode 7 tonight. So we're just going to get into how the OTCs and listed markets are. There's been some changes lately that Alex and Zander are going to talk more about in just a second. We're going to get into our trades, and we'll get into a little bit of an open discussion. I forgot to say who's here today: Zander, Lance, Alex, and Josh. And so yeah, then after our trades, we'll get into an open discussion, and then Zander's going to wrap us up right at the end. So Zander is going to talk about how his week is going. So Zander, how you doing, man?
Yeah, so coming into the week, I was really feeling good. I knew what I was looking for. But then in the middle of the week, my setup didn't appear that much, so I didn't really trade. But as I wasn't trading, my friends and other people in MIC, they were all playing these setups that I wasn't planning on focusing on. And so that kind of messed with my mind. And so I kind of struggled a little bit with my mindset, whether I should stick to one setup or not, which I'll talk about more later. But yeah, it's been a struggle, but at the end of the week, I figured it all out. And so, yeah, I'm feeling good, ready for next week.
Awesome. So for me, it's actually the opposite. Coming into the week, I didn't know what to look for. But then, like in the middle of the week, morning planning device started to show themselves. So it was a really good learning week, but also a bit frustrating because I missed literally all the plays that I will talk about. I missed all of them. I was also like hating on myself, but then at the end of the week, I realized that like I shouldn't hate myself because like every time I miss a play, that means I learn from that. So then I'll be prepared for the next one. Other than that, also again, spending some time with my friends and yeah, getting ready for the next week.
Nice. Awesome. For me, I'm just still trying to focus on which one of my setups that I like the best. Taking the trades and not missing and hesitating on the ones that I know that are there. As always, that's the thing. I made 4 trades this week. I'll talk about them in a little bit, but one of them was good, one of them was bad, one of them just didn't work, and one of them I didn't even get prepared for and didn't have a clear risk. So one of like each little separate ways, I guess, for those 4 trades, and they were all a different setup too. So I'll talk more about those when I go over my trades, but Josh, go right ahead.
Yeah, so for me, I'm still paper trading. It's helping with my process a lot. I'm able to manage risk better. I'm getting better at patience, which was my main weakness. I didn't let my winners run. And yeah, morning panic dip buys were working, and that's my favorite pattern.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I was fortunate.
Yeah, it's nice. So let's talk about OTC markets. This week was definitely a great week, unlike last week's. Almost every day there was solid runners like LCLP, INCC, and DRNG. Every day was super hot, but Friday was super slow. And these kind of days, they determine how good of a trader you are. On these days, it's better to play it safe than sorry. The best thing to do is just patiently sit on your hands and keep your cash until the opportunity presents itself. Also, this week, as we already said, morning planning seemed to be coming back. Super excited about it, and I hope it wasn't just the 1 week. I hope they will actually start to work. And this week was almost the first week since March that I was actually focusing on them in the morning. Like I was watching, like I have all the charts open for like specifically morning panics, and overall pretty happy that OTCs are getting hot again, even though it's actually summer, but it was still getting some solid plays, and excited and gonna be ready for the next week.
Yeah, and if they get hot for a little bit, maybe we'll make Zander miss OTC land a little bit.
Well, actually, I mean, if morning panic dip buys are coming back, maybe I'll take a look. And I mean, if it's a clean one, then I'll just play it. Like I know,
There we
I
go.
remember I have all the same knowledge on how to play them.
Yeah,
I'd be
you know
just
how
as
to
good.
use level 2 and everything.
Yeah,
It's all the
exactly.
same.
So for the listed market, we kind of saw a shift this week. So last week, was crazy. Shorts were getting trapped left and right. But this week, shorting has become easier. I mean, I guess we're transitioning, markets. We go from hot to then start slowing down more. There were some runners that were good, but pre-market has been dead. And then we've seen this, we've seen this cycle a lot of the time, where pre-market's dead, and then on market open, there are some plays. And so there has been opportunity on the short side every day, but less opportunity on the long side. So we have been seeing that shift. So yeah, next week, I mean, it should be similar, I think, since this is the first week that we've seen it slow down.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're gonna get into our trades now. Xander's gonna go first. So, Xander, you're gonna keep talking.
All right, so as you can see, this is my week. I only traded twice this week, and I'll explain why this win is smaller than this loss. So my first trade was SPI, which is so, like, this one is so beautiful. The executions are exactly what I want it to be every time, and this is the same setup I've been focusing on. So it's the hot stock that's running pre-market. It kind of held below view up, and a lot of the time this happens where it just reclaims and then runs into near market open. And near market open, it's kind of like hovering, and then bam, market opens. We have a huge just wash through VWAP, and I attack the bounces. Now I want to talk about this. When it broke VWAP, I didn't start shorting here because it was near VWAP when it came down. But when it continued even lower, it was good to short the bounce. I don't want to short a bounce that is bouncing near VWAP because that could be a long instead of a short. But after the second candle just went even further down below view, that was the confirmation that I wanted, and I attacked. I started shorting this bounce here. Plans to scale a little bit higher, and then my risk was at like 765. So fairly tight risk, and my risk reward was good all around. If I had gotten executed all my bullets, then my risk reward would have been great. So yeah, I shorted the bounce and then covered on these support levels. So if I wanted a line here, a line here, a line here. And these support levels, I mean, I just like to cover a little bit into every wash, and I usually have 3 scaling out bullets. So I covered my position 3 times, and this one just worked out perfectly. And that was the $5 gain. And the reason is because only one of my bullets got hit. Because one of my bullets got hit, and yeah. So and the verb trade, all of my bullets got hit, and then I got stopped out. So that's why this loss was bigger than this game. So on this trade, it was, I guess, a little bit different. Let me go to the 5-minute. So we have this uptrend, this clear trend line right here. Bam, bam, bam. And then once it broke trend, that's when I wanted to attack, especially because it's kind of similar to SPI, where SPI is holding up and then it cracks below and it breaks trend. Verb was very similar, where it broke the trend. Yeah, so once it broke trend, it looked like this right there. And so most of the time, this would have worked because this is a death candle, and then it broke trend even more. So that's like, usually this would definitely work, and it wouldn't even bounce that much. But the only other stock that was taking attention on the long side was a DTSS, I think, and that stock started dumping. And so once that stock started dumping, all the volume went to Verb because it was the only stock that was near view up. And let me turn on view up right here. So it's the only stock that was near view up. And like right here, this is when DTSS started dumping and it stuffed and stuff. All came here and it squeezed up. So I had a hard stop in, and that was a perfect stop. I was saying in my recap vlog or recap video, which will be links in the description, I was saying that I could have had my risk more down here if I wanted to short just the top of the trend, but I still expected maybe that VWAP would reject, and I was willing to risk a little more and get a little less size, just hoping that if VWAP did get tested, it would reject. But again, all the volume went here, so that just didn't work. So that's basically all my trade.
So Zander, so you had a small gain because only one of your bullets got executed, right? Like only one of this, like when you
Yeah.
scale in. So I think when I watched trading tickers, the first part, he was saying no, I mean the second part. He was saying how in the first part he also used to like trade like this, like when he like scales in, but he said that like, the problem was that he had full size losers, but then when he had profits, they were like half of the size. And I think isn't it the same thing here? But like if it started to go up more, then it would have triggered all your lines, and then you would have like had a bigger position. But then if that didn't work, I mean, you would have had like a full size loss. But when it works right away, you have a small gain.
Right, that's a common problem.
Yeah.
And the solution is to add to your winner. And so it's hard for me to do that because that's like one of the hardest things that MIC teaches. But once I can add on
Yeah,
SPI
I
trade
see.
specifically, once it rejected VWAP, I should have added there and lowered the risk. And so I did the math actually. I could have added 100 or 15 times my normal size. So I think I only had like, I don't know, 10 shares in this. I could have added 100 shares and risked the same amount, risk the same dollar amount by just lowering my risk right above VWAP, and that would have been good. Sure, I upped the risk of getting stopped out, but it's gonna make my winners bigger than my losers. So that's what I really have to learn.
Yeah, this is exactly what Gritani says. Like when he moves his risk down when shorting, that means you have now like a smaller risk, or you can have bigger position here, and then that means bigger gains on winners.
Yeah.
So, anybody has any comments?
No, we're good.
No, all
Okay,
good. Good job, Zander.
Then I'll go over my one trade. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yep.
So I had only one trade, but I also talk about my missed trade, some of them. So the first trade was on HQNG. As you can see, this was a big form runner. See, it had a few first green days after the number 4, but then here we had this first green day in the morning with volume, and so I saw it right in the morning. I think it had news. I'm not sure about it, but it had news. So I was watching it for like the morning panic. Morning spike, then consolidation and break. And right here, I saw on the level 2 there was like a perk, and I think the reason is like I got in because before that, on this day, LCLP had a nice panic, and I missed that. And it was kind of like an emotional trade because I was really frustrated that I missed that trade. But still, the setup was there. Maybe not the perfect one, but like almost all the indicators were there. So I bought it at 4 cents on a perk with the volume, but then I sold almost right away after like a few minutes. So I didn't even wait for this run up. I don't know. I was just so scared when I bought it because in the second one I bought, I realized that I shouldn't have bought. So I was just looking for an exit, and I just literally sold like for a break even, like 0.0005 loss. So that was a small loss, but it was like a bit of emotional trade. So as we can see, it just failed all day. So it was good that I exited safe. Like didn't wait for this. Like my risk was here, but I'm glad that I didn't wait for this.
Wait, were you risking VWAP or the break of that
here.
low?
37.
Hmm.
Now I want to talk about this trade that I missed.
Oh, yep.
So as you can see, before that, It was a nice former runner. And then we had this huge first green day. I did not trade anything this day. I just haven't seen like a good entry point here because I don't know. Every time it was like breaking the high day, I thought like it was chasing, so I just missed all that. And then this day it was a perfect panic dip buy, so you can see. Perfect, like perfect. It was 24% panic, and then
That's crazy.
127% bounce. I'll say
That's like
this
the
was-
dip and rip that I would have played.
Yeah,
It's so nice to see this again. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
This
Yeah.
clean has been a
a
long
clean
time.
dip versus
So-
like a swizzle.
yeah. So I saw the turn, but the only reason I think why I didn't get in because everyone says like the perfect panic is when it's on a multi-day runner. But this was just the first green day. I thought like it's not perfect, but then I realized that multi-day run means a like huge percent run. But on this day, this was like 2,000% run. So it's same thing as like multi-day run. So I saw like Sam H. Well, he's not here. He got it at exact bottom, but then he sold like his 2 seconds. Yeah. So I think if I got it at 25, probably would have sold. Like I can't say when, but definitely like higher than him. So yeah, this was a super like frustrating. I felt super frustrating after that because this is literally like my bread and butter from February. So and as I said in the chat, I'll try to bring myself from February when I was so confident in these panics, when I wasn't scared that it was gonna go lower because it already was 25% panic. I don't know why I wanted more because 24 is like the perfect number between 20 and 30. So yeah, and also there was another one, CYGY type panic.
On
Here.
DPLS.
Yeah. Here. So it was all also perfect, but oh wait, not that's actually was the same day. LCLP had the bounce, so we see he had 2 bounces on the same day, but I'm talking about the other one, the midday panic. Here,
Yep.
it's just so clean.
That's
But the reason
CYDY
why,
right there.
so I'm not really upset that I did not trade this one because I just don't like midday panics.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's
that
what-
looks
it was past 10 a.m.
awesome.
Yeah, this past 10 and yeah, that was 50% bounce. And I think FNMA on this day, they had also, on this day, see, they had this panic, but then it just was going down, down, down. So that's why I remember this one. So I just didn't want to trade that. I just said
Yeah,
like,
with no bounce.
I remember one person, he said, I don't care if it bounces 50% and it bounces 50%, but you know, it's better to play safe because one time it works and one time it doesn't. And also there were news about offering. So I wasn't gonna risk it. So yeah, and yeah, and that's all what happened. Like the plays that I missed. So yeah, just make the one trade, but I'm super excited for the next week for the panics, especially LCLP because he had the first green day. So I'm gonna be watching for that. This is my main play.
Yeah, awesome. Like Alex said, looking for the panics to continue. I didn't get filled at the bottom of the turn on LCLP. I don't know how I didn't get filled. The turn was literally 20 seconds and I had more than enough time to get filled, but I put my limit at 25.5 and didn't get filled. So it's whatever. At least I was there and I witnessed it.
At least you tried.
Yeah, I tried. At least I pressed execute. So that's something, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna go over my trades. My first trade was on SGOC. Let me share my screen really quick. Okay, so first, this is the trade that was terrible. One of the 4 trades, this one was terrible. Multiple things I can rattle off the top of my head that I did terribly. Never long a stock making lower lows. I don't know why I did this. Second of all, I was green on 3 straight trades, so I was looking for something that wasn't there. I was boredom trading, which is something I can never do. Just trade because you're bored. I was bored. This is the wrong time of day for my setup. It was in a downtrend, which is obviously not ideal. Most of the action was in the morning, and I was like, I missed out on the entire morning. I want to try to get something. But if this trade was terrible, and so I entered on this little reclaim-ish thing. This wasn't even the right time of day, so I can't even call this a reclaim. This was just a terrible trade all around. My risk was way too wide. I made it over 3% when it just needed. Zander was talking to me about this earlier, that it would be a good idea to risk right here, which was like 22.55-ish, because it's either it works or it doesn't, instead of making it down here. I don't really even know why I made it down here. I was not in the zone at all, and I ended up taking like a $12 loss. So I entered here thinking that after this little downtrend, it was going to start making a higher low, but then I just waited it out and it didn't work. So not proud of that trade at all. Those are the kind of things that can't happen, but it's a beginner mistake that I did on this. So were you going to say something, Zander?
Something else that MIC teaches that might help you is if you zoom out on the chart to see the whole day. And scroll to the market open too.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see that at 10:30, right when MIC calls it zombie hour, when the algos can step in, right at 10:30, that's when it started to jump. And so it starts to get action, and that's your edge in the long side. And then we have something else called the 2 p.m. rule. It's called the reversal rule. So that's when longs actually do not have an advantage. So we call it 2 p.m. reversal, and I don't know exactly why, but I know that shorts have the advantage after 2 p.m. And so you probably don't want to be longing then. I think that's a lot of the time when things start selling off. So that's just, but you're totally right about the downward trend making lower highs. So at least you recognize all the mistakes you made. So that's the best part.
No, I'm actually glad that I did this, just so I can have learned these mistakes and not do them again, because I can just rattle off, I did this wrong, this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. And at least I know that, because I could say, oh no, I thought this was going to work after this happened. And this was good. No, this was not good at all. So,
you know what you should actually do?
What?
What you should actually do is every time you make a mistake, write it in a notebook, and then before you take any trade, make sure you're not doing any of those things.
I do. So does Alex. I know Alex does too. Definitely writing in my mistake journal is awesome. Do like daily lessons every single day that I write. So I like those. But I'm gonna move on to my next trade. It was on AHPI. It was on Tuesday. And
you're trading listed this week.
Yes, I did. I traded all listed this week. Okay, so this was the trade that I was completely unclear about. So I got in this trade. I saw it was making a higher low, but I didn't even set a risk level. I entered that fast that I didn't even set a risk level. And I entered, and I just got so scared that I didn't set my risk that I just got out immediately and didn't want anything to deal with it. So it did end up making great higher lows here, 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 and then topped out up here. But shoot, I can't, hang on a second. Cut this out, sorry. Cut this out. I can't see the price because our faces are in the way. How do I move us? Oh, okay. Let me move us. Okay, start. So it ended up actually making good higher lows, but I just was unprepared. I entered way too fast. I didn't get to even set my risk level. And if I don't have a risk level in a trade, I don't want any part of it. So I ended up just taking the small loss. It was $6.78, about like 1.6%. So that's another thing I can't do. I can't just go into a trade rushing it just because I think the setup's there and I don't have a necessary risk level or anything like that. So literally I got in at 769 and I got out at 756. I didn't have a risk, and that's all to say about that. If I don't have a risk, I want nothing to do with it. So if I should have entered here, risked probably down here, 739 at the bottom, and then just analyzed the chart as it went along, I probably would have been out right in here on this candle at 873. So that would have been a really nice gainer, but I just wasn't prepared. So I'm going to be looking to be prepared for the next week. So my next trade, my third one, was on QUBT, and this was the good trade. And I've seen this setup so many times. Watching Dan Irish's YouTube videos, I have gotten so familiar with this setup. It's the ascending triangle. Obviously, it was a perfect ascending triangle right here. I've seen Dan Irish draw these lines so many times, and I was ready for it. The stock had low volume. It was like under 500,000 shares on the day. So I got in right when the volume was coming in right here. So I got in at a great entry right at 7 as the volume started to come in. And then I sold right here at 7:31, which ended up being a good sell. But in the moment, I was just scared of how much it moved in each candle. So I guess in hindsight, it was a good exit. But if I traded well, I probably would have gotten out lower. But a gain's a gain. This was a 4.5% gain. It was $18.25 profit on this one. So I was really happy with this trade. I was super prepared, and it matched up perfectly right there. So that's that one. And then for my last trade was on NEGG. This was on Friday. This was the trade that just didn't work out. I will take this trade another 50 times because I've seen it happen so many times. It's just an uptrend, big gainer in the morning that bounces off VWAP and continues to run. Happens all the freaking time. But right here, I just entered as it started spiking off the VWAP bounce at 32.90. Set my risk here for 32.30, and it just broke down right here. Absolutely none missing right there. No problems. This is a setup that I like. I'll take it another 50 times, but it just didn't work out this time, and that's completely fine. Also, I was thinking big picture as NEGG was in its first green day. So I thought that because it's its first green day and after a long string of red days, that it was going to have some nice follow through for the rest of the day, but it ended up not working out. So I just cut it here quickly. This was a $6.56 loss. So I'm 1.81% loss. So, I mean, I'm happy with this trade. I'm really happy with it. Just, it didn't work out and I traded it well. That's all I care about. I don't care if I lost. I care about trading it well. So, yeah, I did that here. And those are my 4 trades for the week. One was good. One was terrible. One I wasn't prepared for. And one of them just didn't work out. And they were all different setups. The first one was a reclaim. Second one was a first bounce. Third one was an ascending triangle. And the fourth one was a bounce off VWAP. So they were all different approaches, but I'm still finding out what I like the best. I didn't make any OTC trades this week. As I said, I didn't get filled on LCLP and DPLS. The dip was happening at the same time, so I missed out on that one too. But I'm going to be looking to get a little bit more into some OTC action this week because it's looking promising. And yeah, so that's it for my trades. Josh is going to go next. I'm going to stop sharing my screen right here. So. All right, Josh, go ahead.
All right, so I made 4 trades. Well, I made a lot of paper trades, but 4 that I actually learned stuff from. So this one was the first one, DPLS on the 15th. Here, wait. Actually, I made one on the 13th. Let me just zoom out. Okay, here we go. So this one was a solid gain. Classic morning panic. I bought it right here on the turn of level 2, which I'm actually very good at bottom ticking. But I just sell too early. But this one I just traded line to line, but because there was a line here. And yeah, I just traded line to line. Sold it right here, 3 minutes. I got 8%. Pretty solid. Had a few break-even trades throughout the week. And then I had some more DPLS trades right here on Thursday. So this one was a morning panic. This one was the same day as LCLP. And I thought this was a bottom right here. So I quickly sold for a 3% loss. And then I rebought right here, almost bottom tick, but I just went line to line, which I'm getting better at, what Val and Alex talk about in MIC. So yeah, hindsight, I should have held it longer, but I took my gain. This was about 6.5%, I believe. And then I had one other trade on LCLP where I caught this nice dip, but I sold it like a minute later. It was a 15% gain, so how could I not take that? Oops. So like basically I saw the turn on the level 2. It was kind of obvious. You know, I saw it, Sam H saw it, Lance, you saw it. So yeah, we just bought here. I sold here, but because I didn't think it could get to this line right here. This was about 35% away or something like that. And I was thinking this line is too far, but obviously it just ripped right through it and continued and literally doubled from my buying point, you know. So yeah, those are my 3 trades, pretty quick, or 4 trades, but on 2 tickers. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I know it's easy to say in hindsight, but like I didn't get filled on this. I'm not saying I definitely would have sold before it reached the red to green level, but a good idea like for this, if you were still in, was to if the dip and rip happened, then you would hold through red to green. But if it didn't, if it got stuffed right at the red to green level, then just get out right there. I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight. Anybody can say, oh, yeah, wait for red to green. If it gets confirmation, then hold a little longer. If it doesn't, then get out. But when it was moving this fast, and we haven't seen a morning panic like this in a very long time, how are you going to not take a 15%? Whether it's a real
exactly.
trade,
In 1
paper
minute.
trade, doesn't matter. In 1 minute. Freaking Sam got in right at the bottom. He seems to bottom tick everything he does, but
Yeah.
he just saw he was
He
up
sold
and
earlier than me. He
sold.
sold
So,
roughly like right here. I think it was
yeah.
maybe the same minute. I
I
sold
mean,
in
I
1
He
minute.
said after 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Yeah, I mean, I think if we start seeing more of these morning panics, we'll get more comfortable to analyze them. I think it's just because of the fact we haven't seen a clean one like this in so long that we were like, oh, wow, what is this? And
And the speed on
take
it too
advantage
was
of it.
like, oh my gosh. You know, like I don't know what type of run this.
125%.
Yeah, well, this doubled, but
Yeah.
I probably would have sold here if I were still holding.
So my approach on this is, so I always say on morning panics, I risk failure. So when I buy, like, so look here. So when I dip buy, and then I see the weakness in the level 2, I sell immediately. Doesn't matter. So yeah. And then the other thing is, like I can hold all the spike, but when I have like 15% gain as you, then at that time, I don't think I'm gonna wait for the weakness because I have solid gain. So I would have also took
Yeah.
probably there. So yeah, I wait until the weakness, but when I have like 15% gain, then I don't care about the weakness. I'll just sell into the strength.
Yeah, if I was actually trading it and if I had size, I would sell half. Like if I had 5K, 10K position size, I would sell half.
Oh, of course.
It sucks with OTC commissions, but if you have a bigger account size and each bigger size, it would be best to scale out and
Yeah.
takes some off each line.
No, yeah, definitely. And that's what we can't wait for that in the future, that we won't have to worry about commissions anymore, because as Alex makes it a point all the time not to freaking worry about commissions when looking to trade in OTC. He has been telling me that for a long time now. Ever since I've been in this group, he's been, don't worry about commissions, don't worry about commissions, don't worry about commissions. And Alex's voice is drilled into my brain forever when looking at an OTC. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no weakness in the level 2. I don't know why I sold other than purely emotional. Like I should be less emotional on paper trading, you know, but this line was far too far.
No, Josh, and I think that's actually a good thing, because some people paper trade and they do things that they would never normally do with real money. For you, you're paper trading because you took a big loss and you want to get back on your process. You're doing stuff in paper trading that you would actually do with real money, and that is key. Because some people be like, they're paper trading. Oh yeah, I'll get in here, I'll hold. Oh yeah, there's weakness, whatever. It's not real money. I'm just gonna hold it. But you're actually taking it real approach and doing stuff that you would do with real money, and that's why it's helping you. So that's why some people say, oh yeah, paper trading is great. It helped me get through like a bottom, and it helped me get so much better. And then some people say, oh yeah, paper trading's terrible. There's no emotion. It's basically like everything in life. It's in the eyes of the beholder, and it's how you approach it. So it's a good job that you're doing that, man.
Yeah, this is like my 3rd week. I remember first week I was having 2% gain, 3% loss, similar to when I was actually trading. Now I'm having 6% gain, 8% gain, 15% gain, 2% loss. My biggest loss was like 1.8 this week or something like that.
Yeah. and I do have to ask, I'm not like rushing you into anything, but when do you think you will start taking real money trades again?
We'll see. Probably next week, not this upcoming Monday, but probably next Monday.
Okay.
Because at the end of the year, I mean, at the end of the day, 2 years from now it won't matter, what money I made right now.
Yeah.
So once I get better at line to line trading, because that's the main thing. Like I even got rid of VWAP because like VWAP
Oh.
was like below here. So if I waited for VWAP, I would have missed it.
Below?
No. VWAP was at like
Yeah, it
the
wasn't below.
opening level-ish.
Oh no, it was on DPLS, I think. Let me check. If I add.
Yeah,
I mean, trading
no,
OTCs, VWAP doesn't really matter that much.
Well, on the panics it mattered because if it's way below, then that means he had a big like a higher percentage of bouncing.
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so on
on
DPLSS that was actually a good one because on LCLP that was very close.
Yeah, see, if VWAP is all the way over here on a morning panic on DPLS, it wouldn't have worked. But the lines they worked better than
No,
the VWAP.
no, the higher the VWAP, the better for panics because that means the average price is there.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I just think the
Push
thing
it
is
up.
the reason why VWAP is farther away from the turn than LCLP was is just because of the range of the stock. Like you see DPLS
true,
goes
yeah.
14, 5, 15. LCLP had like 0.025 and then 0.030, like really, really small
Mhm.
apart. So it's just the range that makes it. But
I agree.
but yeah, the fact that I think you should put VWAP back on there, Josh, and just use it when you can,
Yeah, I use it sometimes for confirmation or on the 5-minute chart. But on the 1 minute, it's mainly just the support and resistance lines.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. But like Alex said, for panics, the farther away it is from VWAP, the better opportunity you have for the bounce. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
And one thing I want to mention is that I recorded that panic and bounce on LCLP, and I'm gonna like leave it in the description. I just posted on my YouTube channel. It's like 10-minute video of the bounce, so you can see the turn, the clear turn.
I watched it on how I didn't get filled, and it took 20 seconds, and I honestly have no excuse for that. So
Yeah, I'm actually gonna watch that. I'm interested to see how much of my level 2 knowledge I have still.
oh yeah, dude, it'll be awesome. I was just gonna ask you, Zander, what do you have to say? How do you like having a 3 people talking about OTCs over flooding a listed short seller about their OTC stuff?
I mean, these panics and bounces look awesome. I hope they continue, and if they do, I'll be watching them maybe.
Good. Just don't short them, or else you're dead. Yeah, Josh,
Yeah,
you got anything else on your trades?
No, that was it.
I mean, yeah, I guess we've kind of been in open discussion for a few minutes now. So
Actually, I forgot. I checked the panics, and I want to show the stats that I got here.
oh yeah, show those definitely.
Do you separate, Alex, OTCs from listed panics?
I don't check listed panics.
No,
you
no, don't track listed panics.
I track listed panics and OTCs, but like I separate them.
I'll just take a screenshot here. 1 second. Yeah, I've seen your spreadsheet here.
Listed is more of a dip and rip option, not really a panic option.
Well, OTCs just have such clean balances, LCLP and DPLS versus like this cup form or stair stepper that we see on listed. That takes 2 hours to fully balance.
The level 2 doesn't help with shit. If anything,
It
that's
doesn't.
what
It makes it worse.
it does make it worse, dude. It's gotten me
because
out
you can
when I shouldn't have been.
So let me share my screen. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, we can see it.
And start.
So this is what I have since like the end of June, and like I almost checked all the panics. Like, I mean, we had some choppy panics, but I only checked the ones that would actually like consider buying. Like not just random. Like for example, like LGNC when the panics like the chart like doesn't matter. The daily chart is just beaten down.
Yeah, with no volume and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll only check like the good ones. So we see the LCLP here. even on Friday, it also had a panic, but it was like it wasn't that clean. I mean, it was clean. It wasn't that good because
Had
it
a few fake outs on the
break.
way down.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, definitely.
So we can see like all the panics that they're actually bouncing, and I also have like other criteria, but like the big picture here, and it's looking pretty promising for the next week. So I hope they actually come back. Can't wait for that. Because this like I remember someone asked Jack Kellogg what is his best pattern, like favorite, and he said breakouts, but he said, oh wait, panics are more fun because you buy and then you don't have to wait like a few hours like sticking to your risk, like through all those fakes you just buy and then it bounces and you sell. It's just fun. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
fun and quick. So yeah, this is also my most favorite pattern.
No, yeah, yeah, it's Josh's favorite pattern too, but I find it kind of weird that I used to like love looking for breakouts, but I feel like the more trading knowledge I get, the less I want to buy breakouts.
Yeah, they're
Like
scary.
it's weird. It's like I'd rather get in on like a good intraday support level and let it work towards its breakout and
Yeah,
then use
like
the breakout as
anticipate.
confirmation.
Yeah, like
Exactly. Maybe sell half your position and then have it
I
rip through.
remember Garrick, I think like on one of the stocks, he had 30% gain on a stock that failed to break out. I remember that because he bought it on the support. Then when it broke out, he sold there, and then it just failed. But he still had like 30% gain, even though it failed. So all those people that bought right at the breakout level, they just lost, while he had 30% gain.
Nice.
No, yeah, Alex, I can't remember what the ticker was, but there was an opportunity for that this week buying on the intraday support. I can't remember what it was. I'll find it and I'll show it to you later. But it was like perfect intraday support bounce and then it ran into the close. So I'll find it. Yeah, there's been a lot of opportunities in the OTC
On the
market.
same ticker.
Hopefully, yeah, same ticker. Hopefully that they can come back and we can drag Zander back into OTC land. We'll see.
On the good
Maybe
side.
maybe Sam Testerman too, if that happens.
What I'm gonna do is just keep up the OTC chat. When you guys are like LCLP panic, I'm just gonna turn it on. Okay, watch level 2. Okay, good, get in, go.
Yeah, so he's like, guys, tag me when it's panicking. Seriously though. But yeah, for this coming week, I'm gonna have to scan pretty well because for listed specifically, I'm not seeing anything really right now that's good.
Yeah.
OTCs,
choppiness.
watching for LCLPs, panic, and that's really about it. There could be panic on DPLS, maybe WOGI, DRNG, maybe that third day breakout strategy, but I'm gonna have to run some scans and adapt to what the morning shows me. So.
All right, I'll go. So, here, let me just share my screen really quick again. So, LCLP and DPLS are on watch because they've just had monster panics and great bounces the whole week. And let me just move this. MJWL has been moving pretty nicely, this ascending triangle right here. And let me just check the daily really quick. Yeah, it looks like it could bounce right here up to possibly retesting the highs, but the daily just looks really, really nice that it could just break out from the highs. And that's my main watch. These are my 3 main watches right now. Just LCLP, MJWL, and DPLS.
Nice. Zander, what about you? I know you have to wait until the morning to see what's flowing and what's going to have like death candles and stuff, but what are you watching?
Yeah, again, I'm watching for the same setup where the hot stock is holding up high, and then I'm waiting for the confirmations through, and I'm attacking on bounces, covering on the support levels. I'm just looking for the same thing, and yeah, my plan is just to stick to what I am focusing on and master that setup, and then I can look at other setups. I'm not gonna get distracted with the noise, which is what I call all the other setups that I'm not focusing on noise. So I'm just going to drown out the noise and focus on my own setup.
If that's the case, then I'm in all the noise there is. But it's okay. It's fine.
Oh, Lance.
Yeah.
So how do you track your trades? Like, because so for example, you had 4 trades. So it's like all 4 different setups.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because before I used to like track the breakouts, but like high daybreak, multi daybreak, multi month break. But now I just say OTC breakout. So like because it's like one thing. So that's
Yeah.
why I thought like on your like for example on your ascending triangle, is it like just ascending triangle? Like
No,
all ascending.
it had a daily breakout too.
So how are you gonna track like I
You
said
could just write in the
breakout?
description ascending triangle.
I
Yeah,
track
like
it as intraday and daily breakout, and then in parentheses ascending triangle.
okay, yeah.
Just so I know that it was an ascending triangle and not just like a high daybreak or something. I'll specify. So, but yeah, just focused on
And
not making trades that I should avoid. Sometimes the best trade is no trade at all, and
exactly.
yeah.
And I'm looking for some listeds actually around 10:30ish because that's when shorts are covering because they know like it's zombie hour plus algos. So if heavy shorts are covering plus algos, that's a good dip and rip. Well, not necessarily dip and rip, but it's more choppy like a cup form, like cup and handle. So I'll be looking for that, but mainly OTC morning panics obviously is the main watch.
No, yeah, definitely. And the listed market was super hot Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday it kind of calmed down a bit. I mean, I watch Tim Bowen's pre-market prep every morning on Stocks to Trade, and his favorite quote is, "There's a time to go long, there's a time to go short, and there's a time to go fishing." That kind of ties in with sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. And if it's not all there, if your criteria is not there, then don't take the trade. Preserve your capital and save it for another one that you can use it to more learn from. So
Exactly. Capital is key and cash is a position too, you know.
it is a position. Yeah. You guys got anything else?
I think we're
not
good.
really.
Yeah,
Good.
cool. I
Xander,
mean,
you want to take us out?
this was a great episode.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, this was a great episode. We went over a lot of good things. Yeah, a lot of lessons to take from each of us. We've been really learning a lot over these weeks, and I can't wait to like, just binge watch all the episodes we've done so far and see how far we've grown.
No, yeah,
So,
definitely.
with
And there's
that,
only been 7 episodes,
yeah.
and there's already been a big difference. So
Yeah,
Huge
that's-
exponential growth already.
Yeah,
And process, not necessarily profits right now.
yeah,
Yeah,
knowledge
and
account, not monetary, but that's
profit.
coming soon.
Process over profits.
Yes, sir.
And like I think for all of our like main like not watches but like our plans for the next week, like James said in I think episode number 5, same goals as every week. I really like the quote when he said like every week I have the same quote for the next like 17 weeks, and just studying, learning, and profiting sometimes, but like not focusing on that.
Definitely. Awesome.
Cool. Well, we'll see you all the viewers later. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, because we upload every single weekend. Well, we upload maybe in the weekdays, but we record every weekend at the end of the week. And so every week, new upload. Watch them because you're gonna learn a lot about our progress and how we're overcoming a lot of the struggles. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Awesome. See you guys.
That's when longs actually do not have an advantage. That's when the short.
Uh-oh. Cut this part out.
He was
Edit the
flowing,
bloopers.
and then he
Oh
just
my
left.
Because one of our friends. So I think the reason is missed that. So it's and it was kind of like an emotional trade. So but still
It's all good.
but still the setup was there, so I bought it at 4 cents. And then my goal was it to break the high day and then spike more. So that was even. Let me kill him. Okay, so I saw it not after this spike. I saw it. Okay, 1 second.
Just go.
Dude, Alex, your rooster.
We gotta add this in at the end. We gotta add this in at the end as bloopers.
Bloopers. Alex's rooster, dude. Yeah, add this to bloopers, 100%. Oh my.
This
He said I'm gonna kill him.
What is he gonna do to stop that? From
I know.
happening?
What is he doing?
Dude, he's probably shooting it.
No.
All right, let's see. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, blood splattered.
You shoot him?
Nothing changed.
Okay,
Okay.
just continue.
Continue. We're good. We're adding this to bloopers.
Okay, wait. Let's wait for one more. Okay, let's go.
Then go.
All right, we're good.